So we are done and dusted with Series 1, and now we move on to Series 2. Now I will say, if you've not seen Series 1, definitely go back and watch it because it was a great series. But there's no reason why you have to see Series 1 to watch Series 2, so no worries if you haven't. So we start this series off with a young Jarl named Zivik. He is 23 years of age. We are diligent, content and patient. But I think our strongest trait as a leader will be that we are a brilliant strategist. And this is backed up with our unyielding defender trait. So on the battlefield, I think we're going to be very hard to stop. Now looking at our stats, you can see we have the 15 martial to back this up. We also have a very good learning stat of 14 and we have a diplomacy stat, which is pretty average, of 10. So actually running the realm, I think we're going to need a bit of help. So we're going to have to get a good court behind us. Now a quick look at the family tree. Our father is of course the famous Jarl Zivik, who I'm sure you're already aware of. And then some would say our grandfather is even more famous than Zivik, and that is of course Ragnar Lothbrok. So we come from a very powerful bloodline, which of course gets us a lot of respect in the world, but also adds a lot of pressure to perform. Now looking at this, I can see that we haven't got the third part of the tribal authority law, so we're going to pass that straight away. And then once we get the missing 1114 prestige, we're going to get on number 4 as soon as we can. Now there's many paths that we can take, and there probably is many paths that we are going to take, but the very first thing that I want to get is the befriend perk. And that's basically so we can start befriending vassals and people like that. Now the focus I think is going to be between foreign affairs and majesty. Now I like majesty because you get the prestige, but then I love foreign affairs because you get the +3 diplomacy. And because we are young, I think that +3 is going to benefit us a lot more than the prestige would at this moment in time. So we are going to go with foreign affairs, and like I say, the very first perk that we're going to get will be befriend once we get a perk point. Now looking a bit deeper into our siblings, you can actually see that we're pretty much on good terms with the majority of them, but we do have 2 brothers who have a -50 opinion of us, and that's basically because they are vassals. Now fortunately we do have our sister Inga as our spy master, and for our father she was a great spy master, so hopefully she will be the same for us. The next member that we need to get in our court is our steward. Now steward, again, he was really good for our father, so I think he's going to be really good for us. He's also our vassal, so he's going to want to be in the council, so we're going to get him in straight away, and that's going to improve our relationship with him a little bit. But like I say, once we sort out our holdings, our relationship should improve that little bit more. And then we look at our chancellor. Now we will actually need a really good chancellor, and I think 13 is just not going to cut it, so we're going to have to try and get a better chancellor in, maybe by arranging some marriages with court members, but we'll look into that a little bit later. And then we move on to our marshal, and as you can see, our brothers are really good knights, so getting either of these in, is going to do the job. They're both our vassals. This brother's a little bit better because he's got 27 over 21, so I think we're going to go for him. So his relationship's going to improve as well, and like I say, once the holdings, it's going to improve even more. Now I would like a better court chaplain. I mean 14's okay, but I mean if we can get up to like the 20s, but we don't actually currently have anybody at the moment. If we can find somebody better, then I'm going to go with them, but for now I'm just going to leave her in there just to finish the faith conversion of this duchy over here. So she's working on that currently, so we won't take her out for the time being. But like I said, we do need a good chancellor, and we're going to try and use our niece to marry off to hopefully somebody that can come in and fill that spot. Now we do have this guy, and he has already a 28 stat for diplomacy, so I think he's going to be a perfect fit. Trouble is that we can't actually get a matrilineal marriage, so we won't actually be able to get him into our court. All that would happen if I was to marry them 2 now is we'd get an alliance with them, which obviously we don't want. One possible solution to that is we could get a hook on him, and then that hook would mean we'd then be able to hopefully get him into our court. The trouble is, because we haven't gone through the intrigue path tree, we can't actually get hooks at the moment, so that's not a road that we can travel down at the moment. So I guess a good alternative is getting this guy Osinladi, I think his name is. We're going to get him in because we can get a matrilineal marriage, so he's going to come in and be our chancellor. And then I'm also going to marry one of our courtiers off to this woman, Azza, because she has got 19 learning, but mainly she's got mastermind philosopher, so I'm going to get her to come in and be our court chaplain. And then that sorts out our council. I think we have a good member in every position, and hopefully that's going to help us out. And then of course the next thing we need to do is we need to find ourselves a spouse. Now when it comes to a wife, I always try and get someone a little bit high up the ladder, because one, you can get a good alliance from it, and then your offspring are going to have more options. you know, having an important father and an important mother. But the one issue we do have is that she is actually betrothed to be married to this guy. Now, one option that we have is we could actually run a murder scheme on him, and because her faith isn't too different from ours, I think we're going to have a good chance of getting that marriage over the line. So we're going to go for that murder scheme, hopefully get him out of the way, and then see if we can make something happen there. Now, one of the places that our father didn't manage to take was this place here. So that's definitely a place we're going to look to take early on. But I think before we do that, we need to sort out our holdings and get ourselves some vassals. Now, one of the things I like to look at is the levy size, because if the vassal decides to rebel, this is going to give you an idea of how many troops they're going to have. So you don't want to give them any of your places, you know, with a lot of troops, because then they're going to become more of a problem. So this place, for example, has 365 levies. So I'd much rather give this place over here with 71 levies than that place over there with 365 levies. So when I look to giving away duchies or counties to vassals, that's one of the first things that I look at. And then I like to look at, you know, the tax income, because again, you want to be giving the lowest amount away, you know, to a vassal, because you only get a certain percentage of that tax after you give it away. Now, early on looking to get vassals, I think we're just going to try and stick to people that we're related to and people that are in our court. Now, I did look at our nephew here, but he's the actual current heir for somebody else. So I don't really want to make him a vassal, because if he becomes like a king or something and he also owns our land, he's going to become very powerful and he's going to be very hard to deal with. So I think I'm just going to stick to my brothers for now. Now, I'm not going to give it to Sorkfir, because Sorkfir is quite powerful already and he is the player heir. So I'm actually going to give him to Askell. Okay, and that gets our holdings down to 3 out of 3. I mean, 3 out of 3 is pitiful, to be honest. Now, a lot of that comes from your stewardship stat, and as you can see, we've only got 7. So that's why we can't have many holdings. If that stat was a lot higher, then you'd be able to have more holdings. Now, I'm going to get us a little outfit. I actually quite like this look, and I think we're going to get a bit of a haircut. That's what we're going to go for. It looks a little bit cleaner, not too much difference, but enough to make it look better, in my opinion anyway. And before we unpause the game, I'm just going to have a quick look at our champions. We do have 6 out of 6, and we have very good champions. Now, that is one department that we are strong in. And we have got a court physician as well. I mean, he's okay, he's not bad. We could do with a better one, to be fair. But, you know, I think he's going to do for now. It's better to have him than no court physician at all. And now we're actually going to unpause the game. So let's get these marriages over the line. Oh, we do want to make sure that they are our religion. Now, we have got to get one of them into our court, because I believe one of them was our chancellor. Yes, this guy, and his religion is changed. So now we have our chancellor in there. Now, one thing I do want to deal with is our control, because I believe our control is pretty bad. Oh, actually, it's pretty good, actually. I didn't expect it to be that good. Now, we've had this holding for a long time, so we really need to make sure that we get the control sorted here. So I'm going to start on that one first, and then after we'll work on these ones here. Now, it's unfortunate when you have to deal with your control and it's not already sorted, because if your control's sorted out, now you can use your marshal for really good things. Now, if your champions aren't too great, you can actually get your marshal to train your champions up and improve them a lot. And they actually do improve quite a bit, so that's usually a really good thing to have. Like I say, if you haven't got very good champions. But then you can also sort out your levies, so you can really improve your army and you can get more levies by doing that one. So that is the one I would pick if we didn't have to sort our control out. Now, because we are short on money, we do have to keep our steward on collecting taxes, and we have to try and get in as much money as we can. But I would like to increase the development as well in certain counties, especially around our capital. But unfortunately, that's something that we can't do at the moment. Now, one thing that we do have to do now we have our chancellor in is we do have to work on domestic affairs, because as you can see, it says increase vassal opinion. And obviously that's going to be very important, especially at the beginning when we're trying to get our vassals on our side. Now, we're going to leave our spy master on disrupt schemes, you know, because there's going to be a lot of people that don't like us. So there might be a few people coming in trying to kill us. And then, as we discussed earlier, our court chaplain, she's still trying to convert the faith over in this county over here. So we're going to leave that going. So how are we doing for our men-at-arms? I mean, not too bad. Not too bad. I probably would like one more. I did actually see with our culture that we got onagers. So I would like to get some of them. But the trouble is, they do cost 120 prestige, which we can't afford at the moment. But hopefully a little bit further down the line, we will be able to get that sorted. Because they do come in handy, like when you're sieging and stuff like that. Now we need to check out this place. He's allied to 2 people. Now they have 1300 troop. troops and they have 900. That's actually something that we can't go for because he actually has more troops than us at the moment. As you can see, we have no allies. And one of the first things we do need to do is we do have to try and sort an alliance with Sweden. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't want to negotiate an alliance with us, which is unfortunate. That's why we will need to get some of those intrigue perks because, you know, they're so useful, those intrigue perks. I always like to get them because they give you so many options. But for now, we can start a sway scheme on him and hopefully build up our opinion. My spy master Inga approaches me with a wicked grin. My lord, this pouch contains a powder most nefarious. If sprinkled on top of something, say a gift for Gumunder, it leaves no trace but will inflict whatever touches it with weakness and ill humours. She's getting involved and she's going to kill him. So we pay 15 and he gets illness. Yes, I think we're going to go for that. It's worth the 15. And hopefully that is the start of his demise. It's nothing personal, mate. We just need to get you out of the way. Because we need a wife and we need to start having some babies. Now, we've been offered a ransom for the queen. They've offered us 76. Be honest. Oh, okay, so the queen has offered us 76 to release her child. Which is fair enough, you know. I can't really argue with that. I was kind of hoping for the 200 for her. So I'm actually going to leave it a little bit longer. Okay, my sister's given birth to a daughter. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, and this is what I was saying. So yeah, leaving our spy master in charge because people are going to be out to kill us. She's already come up with some news that somebody's trying to come for us. Troubling times for us. We're going to be sleeping with one eye open at the moment. But yeah, please find out who that is and stop them. But yeah, getting back to this kid, I'm actually going to wait a little bit longer because I at least want to get 100, you know. I'm actually going to get an alliance with our brother. That's something that I want to do because he's our vassal. And I'm going to get an alliance with our mother as well. I think that's going to be a good move. Okay, so who is it trying to kill me? Oh no, someone's plotting to kill my sister as well. Wow, Spy Master's busy at the moment. I am so glad that we have a good Spy Master. I really am. I cannot tell you how thankful I am. Because yeah, as you can see already, she's stopping a lot of schemes. Wow, everybody is out to kill us. We need to find out who. They sense weakness and they're coming for us. But now we're getting some alliances. Hopefully they will start getting a little bit scared. She's come back with another ransom offer. This is actually for her. Okay, 90. Need more than 90. Yeah, there's not actually much we can do with her. Like we can get a hook, but that's about it. I mean, I really want to release her kid, to be fair. Like I do. And I think when that gets to 100, I'm going to release the kid because, you know, I don't really want to keep the kid in house arrest. I mean, once she's paid us the money for the kid, she's not really getting any money for herself, is she? Like to get herself out. Maybe it is Lotharingia that's actually trying to kill us. You know, could be. Could be them. So who is this? My cousin has been taken prisoner. I don't see how they're my cousin. Are they? Not really my problem. Can't help you there. Okay, here we go. My spy master has come to me because she is certain that Sorkfir, my own brother, is... see, that makes sense. That makes sense because he's the heir. If I die, he takes over. So I can see that. Now this is a problem. Because he's our vassal. He's a fantastic knight. I mean, come on, Sorkfir. Can't we just be friends? Do you really need to kill me? I guess he's like, yeah, because then I become in charge. What do we do here? What do we do? Right, so we're trying to build relationship with him because he's our vassal. You know, he's one of our best champions. So if I let everybody know that he's trying to kill me, he loses 20 opinion of us. Already minus 20. We can throw him in jail. I guess if we throw him in jail, we might be able to get him to revoke his claims. So that's a good possibility. You know, I'm going to put him in jail. So now he's in prison, so we can get him to renounce his claims. So he renounces his claims on all these places. And we're going to get a weak hook on him just to make sure. And we're going to negotiate his release. So this is for our murder on this guy here. So a detailed map of the local hills and all its hidden paths and caves would be an invaluable resource. So we can pay a hunter for 15, but that only gives us a 64% chance. We can abandon the idea, or we can explore the hills ourselves. Now, for him to draw a map at 64%, if he goes and brags about his newly acquired wealth, that means, yeah, there's going to be news out and they're going to discover the scheme, I reckon. I think I'm going to explore the hills myself. I know there's a 10% chance that we get ill, 30% chance that we get a bit of stress. As long as we dodge that 10%, I think we'll be okay. So yeah, I'm going to go for this one, but obviously we're hoping the 60% comes through and we get the map done. Nice, we do. So we get the map. That is all good. Yeah, I think that was a good call.